Hi everyone, Bonnie here, speaking wisdom into your life. Today I want to talk about fear and anxiety and how we can push past it and what we can do to sort of step forward and take action. I was listening to a podcast earlier, and it's two guys, Alan and Kevin. Hello, I'm listening to your podcast. And they were talking about how Kevin specifically was talking about how anxiety causes him to over prepare and how much of a strength that was because it has allowed him to say yes to various opportunities, sort of like the gist of it. And, he shows up, does really well because he's like super prepared, and then like gets more and more opportunities and more chances to feel anxiety and push forward and move past it. And it was a really great conversation that they were having. And it just got me thinking about how, like, a strategy that you can use to be able to actually act when you're in that anxiety. So Kevin's strategy was specifically to, like, what can I do to control it ahead of time? I'm going to really prepare so that I can kind of take control of my anxiety and move forward. And that doesn't really work for me. The more I try to prepare for something, the more anxiety I get that the thing needs to be perfect. And so I kind of make it the analogy that I think about in my head is when you are doing something like this, like a video, or you're giving a presentation or something like that. I know people that like to write out their speech or their presentation verbatim, like exactly how they're going to say it. And then they memorize it like a script and they practice. And that gives me anxiety because I worry that if I screw up the exact phrasing of what I'm going to say, then it'll like derail me, and then I'll stumble and I'll mumble my words and all of these things. And I prefer presentations that feel like a conversation or that feel like alive. Like I really wish, oh, the cat's about to shake my video. Get out of here, cat. Okay, slight pause there. I'm not going to bother editing because this is just Bonnie in real life. Just like I'm saying, like alive, and things happen. And that's just how I prefer to do things. Granted, unless the camera, actually falls down, because the cat, oh my goodness, cat, get out of here, cat. This is so dangerous. Get out of here. You can't tell, right? Because this is like, I've got this sort of behind me is really nice, and you can't tell what my setup is. And it's like this really precarious, like, box situation that I just have balancing. And like the camera is kind of, it's not really centered and all of these things. Because I just want to talk about this anxiety. Okay, so obviously I could be a little bit more prepared. I could have a better setup. I could have locked the animals up, all of these things. And arguably that would be better, right? But this following a script and like that kind of preparation gives me a lot of anxiety. So I like to be prepared in the sense that I have a general understanding of what I want to say, and I know the key points that I want to hit, but I want it to feel like a conversation. I want it to feel natural, and I want to be able to kind of ebb and flow and go with the feelings over what's kind of happening. So then how do I deal with anxiety? How do I get myself to be able to take action? What I like to do, and like is maybe the wrong word, what I strategically do because it's good, not necessarily because I like it, is I try to think of a way that I can get myself into a situation that's going to give me more anxiety than the one that I need to face. And I have a really great example of how I tried to do this. Turns out I like doing this anyway, so I didn't need it. It didn't work, but it's a really good analogy. So for a long time, I wanted to jump into bungee jumping. I literally wanted to jump. And I figured that would be really scary. Most people don't like heights. Jumping from a height, it's like you're looking down. I've been on high diving boards and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's going to be scary. What can I do to make sure that I actually jump? And there happened to be a naked bungee jump fundraiser for schizophrenia research awareness at the bungee jump near where I was. And I thought, perfect. If I'm naked and the only way to escape that situation is to do the bungee, I'm gonna bungee, because being naked in public is also anxiety inducing. So I thought that it was going to be this like perfect balance of I'm too scared to bungee jump, but I'm naked and I need to escape. And like both really extremes, it's going to like bring me into like this harmonious neutral. And in reality, that probably is kind of what happened, except it turns out I don't mind being naked and I totally love bungee jumping. So in the moment, I was able to jump regardless. But that kind of strategy is what I like to do. And now when I'm coaching people, because I coach divers, like springboard divers, that's what I have them do. If we dive off the 1 meter, we're totally cool. These are kids. And then they go to the 3 meter and then they're scared and they don't want to go. So what I do before we even go to the 3 meter is I actually take them up to the 5 meter. And we go up to the 5 meter and we like get scared and we practice how can we re-regulate our physiology? What kind of techniques can we do to change how we're feeling to manage the anxiety? And then we take it down a level by 2 meters so that we're not as scared. And then they're able to jump off a little bit more. So that is one tool in the toolbox that I offer to you as a way to help you push past anxiety, push past the fear that's happening if over preparing is not your strategy. If that is your strategy, awesome. But for me, there's a fine line between knowing the information and being prepared and then over preparing and driving myself further into anxiety. I prefer, oh, that's interesting, because I'm still driving myself into further anxiety to help reduce it, but I'm doing it in a different kind of manner. So take that for what it's worth. Take that into the future as you navigate your life and manage your anxiety and your fear. And I encourage you to step into fear and feel it and relax and push past it, because that's where the growth and the magic happens. And I want magical things for you. Okay, take care. Bye.